Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. The Office of the Inspector General for the VA publishes on a monthly basis its highlights for the previous month. Now, it's a 17-page fiasco, but I am going to go into a couple of the stories within it. Not going to go through the whole thing. It's way too much, but it's always an interesting read, and I thought that I would share some of this with you here today. So please, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. The two asks are really look. Hit the thumbs up, let the video run. That's what helps to push this information out to others. And if you want to support the channel in other ways, consider being a member. You can do that by going to the home page. You'll see highlighted members and a join button. Thank you so much to all you members. I really do appreciate your support. All right, so this is the September 2024 highlights from the Office of the Inspector General. Now, if you find this or go to it, there's a bunch of information, and as you scroll down, you'll get to the spot of the Office of Investigations. Now, in the Office of Investigations, there's two primary sections that I like to look at. One is for benefits, the other is for healthcare, and like to jump into that. So here we are on the Office of Investigations, and I'm just going to read you this little paragraph so you kind of understand what they cover. So it says here, and look, here's the thing before we jump into it. This is what allows others to know that we're paying attention, right? This is the type of stuff that's not, the glitz and glamour of it all, but it's the stuff of, look, we're watching and we're paying attention. So here we go. Office of Investigations. This office investigates potential crimes and civil violations of law involving VA programs and operations concerning VA employees, contractors, beneficiaries, and other individuals. These investigations focus on a wide range of matters, including healthcare, procurement, benefits, construction, and other fraud, cybercrime and identity theft, bribery and embezzlement, drug offenses, and violent crimes. The following investigations had significant developments in September. All right, so under the healthcare investigations, we'll go through a few of these, or at least one, and then we'll move on. So here's one that had some significant changes in September. Medical supply company president sentenced for role in kickback scheme. The VA OIG investigation revealed a former medical supply company owner paid kickbacks of over $36,000 to a former Central Supply Department supervisor at the Jesse Brown VA Medical Center in Chicago in exchange for their initiation and approval of orders from his company for products that were never delivered to VA. The former medical supply company owner was sentenced in a Northern District of Illinois for 24 months or 24 months in prison and 24 months of supervised release after pleading guilty to wire fraud. The former VA supervisor was previously sentenced to 84 months in prison and 36 months of supervised release. Both defendants were ordered to jointly pay restitution to the VA of over $1.7 million. All right, let's move on here to benefits. There are, it looks like, quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe. 5 under the benefits investigations that had some sort of significant development. We'll see if we can cover all of them here. So, non-veteran pleading guilty to stealing over $455,000 in compensation benefits from a disabled veteran. A multi-agency investigation revealed that a non-veteran deposited into his personal bank account at least 4 stolen VA disability checks that were intended for a hospital-bound veteran diagnosed with ALS. After the bank refused to deposit the checks due to a name mismatch, the individual and a co-conspirator used the stolen identity documents to open another bank account in the victim's name and then successfully made the deposits. Between 2015 and 2020, the individual and his co-conspirator stole approximately $450,000 in VA disability benefits checks intended for the veteran. The non-veteran pleaded guilty in the District of Massachusetts to theft of government benefits and conspiracy to steal government benefits. The VA OIG, U.S. Postal Inspection Service, and Social Security Administration OIG conducted the investigation. Next, we have VBA, which is Veterans Benefits Administration, VBA Quality Review Specialist. Okay, so this is an employee of the VA, specifically on the Benefits Administration side. So we have VBA Quality Review Specialist pleaded guilty to theft of government funds. Between December 2019 and August 2022, a VBA Quality Review Specialist at the St. Paul VA Regional Office created 21 false VA claims in the names of multiple VA beneficiaries and then directed the resulting payments to his personal bank accounts. Wow. The total loss to the VA was approximately $389,000. The defendant pleaded guilty in the District of Minnesota to theft of government funds. As a stipulation of a plea deal, he agreed to be terminated from VA and to pay full restitution. The VA OIG investigated the case. So the part that's a little bit, I mean, come on, really? As a stipulation of the plea deal, he agreed to be terminated from the VA? Of course you're going to be terminated. What the hell? All right. Moving on. Next one. We'll do three more here. A daughter of deceased VA beneficiary indicted for wire fraud. Another VA OIG investigation resulted in charges alleging that the daughter of a deceased VA beneficiary continued to collect and withdraw her mother's VA dependency and indemnity compensation benefits following her death in November of 2005. She was arrested after being charged in the Middle District of Florida with wire fraud. The loss to the VA is about $338,000. Next one, veteran indicted for benefits fraud scheme. According to a joint investigation by the VA OIG and the Social Security Administration OIG, a veteran allegedly made materially false statements regarding his ability to work due to his service-connected disabilities, while simultaneously being gainfully employed and receiving VA individual unemployability benefits and Social Security disability insurance benefits. The veteran was indicted in the District of Montana on charges of false statements, including false statements to the Social Security Administration. The total loss to the government is over $454,000. Of this amount, the loss to the VA is about $150,000. Next one, former VA fiduciary pleads guilty to stealing VA funds intended for veteran. The son of a veteran who previously served as his VA-appointed fiduciary withdrew almost $80,000 in cash without permission that was intended for his father from the fiduciary account. He then refused to provide VA Fiduciary Hub with any accounting for the funds during his time as fiduciary and eventually cut off communication with VA and his father. The defendant pleaded guilty in the Northern District of Mississippi to theft of government funds. The VA OIG conducted the investigation. You know what? Good. It's glad to know. Look, the fiduciary program does get a bad rap, but, you know, in some cases, it is necessary, right, to have a fiduciary in place. And it's super sad when you see that it's a family member, a son, who takes advantage of that position and uses it for their own means. But it's nice to know that the fiduciary hub and the workers at the fiduciary hub probably blew the whistle on this and said, hey, look, something's not adding up right. The person's not giving us the records we're looking for. And they also cut off communications. And let's get the OIG involved, right? So that is a win. Let's see what else they got. They got a couple other ones here. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read the headline of the actual thing. And if something sounds really good, we'll jump into it. So here's some investigations involving other matters. One, business owner sentenced for Paycheck Protection Act and Economic Injury Disaster Loan Scheme. Wonderful. Next one, plumbing and heating company owner pleaded guilty to Economic Injury Disaster Loan Scheme. Spouse of VA employee sentenced for fraudulently obtaining federal pandemic relief loans. And then there's some audit and evaluation. So there's the office within the OIG. There's also the Office of Audits and Evaluations. And they also conduct stuff. I'll give you a couple of their headlines here as well. Alleged mismanagement of contracts for wheelchair accessible transportation services by Health Administration Service at the Dallas VA Medical Center in Texas. Another one here is VA needs to strengthen controls to address electronic health record system. Major performance indicates. And let's do one more. Additional controls are needed to improve the reliability of grant and per diem program data. All right, so it goes on and on. Like I said, it's 17 pages. Just wanted to share a little of the meat and potatoes with you. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one, and remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.